account. So I've completed the download list of all your stuff. Okay. And so you're going to jail, right?
Okay. Do you mind if I walk out there peacefully and without going out and touch?
Alan Long is in handcuffs, arrested at the school where he was a teacher, accused of chatting with children and getting them to do incredibly sick things. I'll go through the disturbing things that Alan Long was looking at on his phone and how it took years to arrest him. I'm Angenette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. If you look at Alan Long in photos, he seems like a happy-go-lucky guy. He smiles, and his posts on social media, they're very positive. He actually looks like he could be fun. But Alan Long appears to be the definition of a wolf in sheep's clothing. The former elementary school teacher is now in prison. He's doing hard time for possessing disturbing images and videos of child pornography and then getting children to film themselves and send it to him. This case takes us to Kingman, Arizona, a city along historic Route 66. I have visited Kingman on vacation. It's a cute little town with a lot of murals and things like that. Alan Long was working as a teacher for the Kingman Unified School District, a man who accessed vile child sex abuse material and manipulated children, was working as a school teacher. Long shared photos of one of his classrooms on Facebook back in 2024. It looks like a classroom that any child would love to be a part of. It's bright and cheery. But the things Alan Long was looking at online were dark and disgusting. Images of children being placed in awful situations involving sex with adults. In one video, the detectives wrote that the child begged the adult to stop. Alan Long portrayed an image of a man who cared about children. He even wrote a children's book entitled The Little Elephant Who Couldn't Sit Still. He held book signings, some at schools. Before Alan Long moved to Arizona, he lived in Indiana. That's where he was from. On May 13th, 2020, Long posted on Facebook, "Exciting announcement. Most of you know that I just graduated with an elementary education degree. I applied for a job at Mount Tipton Elementary School in Kingman, Arizona. I interviewed for the position and they offered me the job. I'll be moving next month. I am excited and nervous for this new adventure in my life, but will have many opportunities to come and visit." Alan Long was starting an exciting new life as an elementary school teacher, as he mentioned, a friendly, fun teacher who even has an emotional support pickle on his desk. So he moved to Arizona for a teaching job, and then in 2021, the trouble for Long started. The Mojave County Sheriff's Office received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. NCMEC sent 57 files to the Sheriff's Office that the organization said were shared on the Kik app. Detectives issued subpoenas and search warrants to several social media companies, Facebook, Instagram, and Kik. They tracked those accounts to Alan Long, and they wrote that they made several attempts to track him down but couldn't find him. And then something strange happened. A detective asked that the case be suspended. The detective wrote, "As the information pertaining to the date of the alleged offense of this case to be 2/10/2021 and the amount of unsuccessful attempts to contact the mentioned involved male in this case, Alan Ray Long, the information is now considered stale with no actual physical evidence of the alleged offense received by NCMEC. In addition, no additional or newer information has been received in the form of cyber tips or other form of documentation. To include all involved online accounts to have been used in the alleged offense are closed and or deleted, and any legal process served to the aforementioned electronic service companies would yield negative results. I request this case be suspended unless newer information is received." So the investigation appears to have been placed on the back burner until September 2024. The police report states, on 9/18/2024, the case was forwarded back to the Detectives Division for their appropriate action. Detectives tracked down Alan Long and found that he was working at another elementary school as a fourth grade teacher. The detectives spoke with Long. The incident report states, Alan was asked if he had a Kik account before. Alan stated a long time ago, yeah. Alan was asked what his username was on that account. Alan stated he can't remember. Alan was asked when he says years ago, how long would that be? Alan stated 4 years ago, maybe longer. Alan was asked what he used that for. Alan stated he just downloaded it one day to chat with people. Alan was told that I do not fully understand what Kik is used for and was asked to explain what it is. Alan stated chat boxes is what he got out of it and that it is kind of like Discord. Alan was asked what made him get rid of it. Alan stated it was just strange in a way. Alan stated some chats were inappropriate. Alan stated some chats they were trying to figure out who you were and where you lived. Alan stated he just got uncomfortable with it. Alan was asked how long he had it for, and Alan stated maybe a month. Alan stated he did not have it for long. The detective wrote that he told Alan Long he was there to talk with him about child pornography and that he needed him to be honest with him. The detective wrote in his report, Alan was asked to explain to me what he saw. Alan stated nude images. Alan stated some that looked like minors. Alan was asked how he could tell they were minors. Alan stated just because the developing bodies. Alan stated he just left the chat room and then eventually deleted it. Alan was told that I cannot guess on the things he is referring to, even if I think I may know what he is talking about. Alan was asked when he is talking about developing, what is he referring to? Alan stated body development. Alan was asked what parts. Alan stated the upper chest area. Alan was asked if he is talking about underdeveloped, overdeveloped, or something else. Alan stated underdeveloped. Alan was asked if there was anything else that was a red flag that would tell him it was a minor. Alan stated no, just the weirdness and the vibe inside the chat room. Alan Long denied having the images in his actual possession. Then he asked for a lawyer. But another detective went to speak with him after that. While sitting out with Alan, I decided to talk to him about his property and then about why we were here. Alan advised detectives were doing this because of child pornography. I asked how did that get onto our radar, and Alan stated, guys got onto an app and there was something on it. His account was on there. It was called Kik. Somebody sent him stuff. I asked him how did that come, like in a picture or a website. Alan stated, a file, you click on a file that downloads. Alan advised he deleted everything off his phone and deleted the app. This was a group chat with random people. He got it because he was bored and wanted to talk to people. It turned into more of those images, so he deleted it. The detective then told Alan he wasn't aware that he had asked for a lawyer and apologized, and it turns out that Alan Long was lying. Detectives downloaded Long's phone and other electronics, and they said they found it loaded with sexual images of children. In November 2024, detectives went to Surbat Elementary School and took Alan Long into custody.
I know we've spoken before. Alright. Well, I've completed the download. We'll close all your stuff. Okay. Until you're going to jail, right?
Okay. Do you mind if I walk out there peacefully and without going out in cuffs?
Yeah, we can walk out there, but once we get you out there, you are going in cuffs.
Okay.
Alright?
Thank you.
And I got your stuff. Have your mom call me or the parent to get your keys and stuff.
Okay.
I know, it says, GED. Right.
You too.
There.
step up.
So the charges you're being booked in today for are sexual exploitation of a minor, okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Alright.
You want me to search him?
Yeah, certainly.
Alright, man. Go ahead and step out real quick. You have anything on you?
I have a wallet in my back pocket. My cell phone's in this
Okay,
pocket.
go ahead and turn face first. Okay, separate your feet for me.
Yeah, I have my car key.
Anything up there?
Yeah, I mom to send some money.
Alright, man. Alright, sir, I'm gonna reach over you, okay? Watch your foot.
Now, what's so chilling about this case? The prosecutor said Alan Long met children online and got them to take sexually explicit images of themselves and then had the children send them to him. And then he shared those images with other people. So I'd like to bring in Greg Rogers. He's a retired FBI agent who investigated many, many child sex abuse material cases in his time with the FBI. Greg, thank you so much for joining me.
Always my pleasure.
Talk to me a little bit about your first thoughts upon reviewing the information in this case. I mean, we have a guy, a teacher, access to young children, who said, who admitted to this, that he was creating or getting kids to create child sex abuse material and then getting them to email it to him.
Right. Yeah, no, this is it's a classic case of what we call a preferential pedophile, which is a pedophile that's very interested in a group of children of one particular age, and which is different. There are pedophiles who are interested in, just any minor. This individual had a particular age group he was interested in, and he had put himself in a position to be around young girls of that age group on a daily basis. I mean, this is a very manipulative groomer. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he had put himself in a position so that he had access to the children of the age group he was interested in on a daily basis. That's a very dangerous offender. That's an individual who's going to abuse a whole lot of children.
That is the concerning part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is so incredibly concerning because he had the access to the children. And what bothered me and what I discovered in reviewing the long incident report in this case is the fact that Alan Rogers, they got the complaint about this guy in 2021, 57 files Nick Mick sent to the sheriff's office. They tried to track him down. They went to like his aunt and uncle's house. They knew where he was a teacher.
Right.
And then in 2023, they're like, well, this information is stale. We can't find him. I was like, what? Like, go to the school district. What do you mean you can't find him? And then it gets kind of put on the back burner for a while. And then in 2024, they pick it right up and they get him right away.
It's, again, I've mentioned, I think, when we've spoken before, that you won't find anybody that's more pro law enforcement than me, but that's a inexcusable. There's no way to rationalize what happened. When you see that report, the officer incorrectly concludes that the information's stale, so he's basically putting this case in what's known in most departments as a pending inactive status, meaning that they're not going to do any further investigation unless something new comes up. You don't do that with a preferential pedophile who's a teacher. I mean, you don't ever put that type of case, because that person is so highly likely to be perpetrating on young kids that it's inexcusable the way they handled this case. And in Kingman, Arizona, I grew up in Phoenix. I've been to Kingman, know the area well. You could have found this guy in your sleep. It would have taken 10 minutes. I mean, all you have to do is you just have an officer go to the school. You can identify what car he drives, and you wait till school's over. Then you follow him home. I mean, this is a 1-day operation to find this guy. I mean, you could have found him. You could have found this guy in 1 day if he lived in Los Angeles. But I mean, in Kingman, that's too easy. I mean, that it escapes me when you read that officer's report where he's saying that this information's stale and it's basically going into this pending inactive status. I can't rationalize that in any way. That's just a mistake, and it's not just a mistake. It's an egregious error when you're dealing with a pedophile of this nature who's currently in a teaching position. I mean, you don't stop working that case.
Agreed, 100%. And I do want to make it clear, I reached out to the sheriff's office for a comment on this. And at the time of this recording, we have not yet heard back.
It's because you can't justify that. That's an error that can't be explained.
Yeah, it was shocking to me when I read it. I'm glad when they went to go find him in September of 2024, they made quick work of it. They found him quickly, of course, because he wasn't hard to find.
Yeah.
And they go and they get his phone. He's like, "Oh yeah, I don't have any stuff on there," but then they download it and they find it loaded with child porn.
Right.
Not surprisingly.
Right.
This is not a shock. And he lawyers up. But one thing, Greg, that is kind of disturbing to me, it's incredibly disturbing to me, is the fact that they said he was getting kids. He was meeting them in chat rooms and getting them to send him stuff.
Right.
Send him images of themselves. And that, it wouldn't have been long before he took the next step.
No, it eventually, I used to, when I would teach this to a lot of times to parent groups and stuff like that, it's like anything else in life. These types of individuals spend hours and hours a day looking at these photos, grooming kids, and you're going to take the next step. I mean, if you fantasize about this all day, every day, and then you've put yourself in a position where you're around his obvious predilection was prepubescent females, and he was around those all day. The chances that this guy wasn't going to perpetrate, I'd be surprised if he actually never did, are almost zero. And I hope that they're not just ending the investigation based upon what they have now. They need to be interviewing a lot of his students, and just to be careful, interviewing those students and making sure that nothing happened in the school districts he was in.
He pleaded guilty to sexual exploitation of a minor and some other charges. He's in prison now, and we've got some information, Greg, about the jobs he's been doing in prison. He worked in the bakery. He's been working at a special religious event, Bible study, taking part in something called changing offender behavior, which is some type of class, it sounds like. It appears he's doing all of the right things behind bars. He will get out someday. He received a 17-year sentence. What is your kind of analysis or reaction to what he's doing in prison?
No, this guy's a classic manipulator. They know how to work the system. He knew exactly how to get into a position where he could be around the victims, potential victims, to be around what his sexual interest was all day. I mean, he's gonna do that in prison. He's gonna take advantage of these programs because in a state system, you get time off for successfully completing all these programs. So he's going to knock as much time off as he can. And when he gets out, unfortunately, the research is absolutely clear. It's inarguable that pedophiles they don't get better. That's their sexual interest. So he's going to get back out, and he'll be on the, sexual offender registry list for the rest of his life. But he's still going to have the same predilection, and his sexual interest is still going to be children. So this is a dangerous individual, and when he gets back out, which he will, probably in, a whole lot less than 17 years. I'd be surprised if he makes it 10 years in state prison with all the programs he's going to do and everything else. He's going to be a model prisoner, and he's going to be back out on the street. Luckily, he won't be able to teach, but doesn't mean he won't, he'll be on that registry, so he won't be able to get a job around children. But you watch. These types of guys they'll get into relationships, unfortunately, with women who have children that are that age. I mean, there's all sorts of things that they'll do to get themselves back around what they're interested in.
His Facebook page was astonishing to me. Just the amount of he's writing a children's book.
Right.
I mean, look at my classroom, like so bright and cheery. It's truly terrifying to me that children were around this guy with the image he was able to put up on Facebook.
Right. No, because and again, that's all part of the manipulative strategy. Because if he were, these guys often insert themselves into. Unfortunately, they're very good at it. They insert themselves into situations where there's single parent households, and they're trying to convince the single parent what a good person they are. And so, they refer them to their Facebook pages, and they say, and so that's all part of it. It's a classic manipulative strategy to manipulate not only children but adults, their parents, everybody. So they put this portrait out there about what a wonderful human being they are, so that they can get around children which is their real sexual interest. It's they think about this all day, every day. It's hard to describe, but everything they do is to further their ability to satisfy that sexual interest. It's a driving motivation in their entire life, and people really need to understand that.
No doubt. Lessons learned here. I hope people take a very close look at this case. Thank you, Greg Rogers, for your time.
Always my pleasure. Thanks. It's always great to talk to you.
Months after Alan Long's arrest, he was sentenced to 17 years in prison. Long is serving his sentence at an Arizona prison. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.